I being blackballed as an independent black welder? Someone asked me that question because they say they've been getting a lot of encouragement and inspiration from my videos, and when they go back and look at some of the numbers, they was like, "Man, I don't understand. How are you not getting exposed? Like, how can is these other channels who's talking about welding actually getting more momentum?" Honestly, family, it could be a few different things, but I honestly don't feel like I'm being blackballed. I just feel like everything happens in its due season. Um, Building my channel up to this point, I've been doing everything organic, so I literally, honestly, haven't paid for any promotion or to push a video. I've been trying to see if I could build a organic fan base up to a certain number and then start investing in the marketing side. But I actually had to learn the marketing side because there's a lot of different things about marketing that I didn't know. So I had to actually do some homework myself to actually get my hands dirty. But um, I feel like here in the near future, I will be putting more finances behind certain videos or videos just to promote. But I want to do things organic. I just drop things as it hit me. I talk about random topics. I'm not like prone on just welding alone, and I think that that's also can make it be a can make it get less momentum, I believe, because some people want you to be in the booth and burn all day, or make something and show it to them all the time, or you know show them what they doing in the field all the time. I'm just a little different. I like to show certain things. I don't mind exposing um, my hand as far as what I'm doing and what I'm building, but I'm just a little different. I like to stay in my own lane. So, to each his own. I let them do what they do, but I was looking for someone that was black, that was independent. Most people tell you how to actually just get a job, how to get the job, how to go to college, how to go through the system. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you the way I did it independently, how I learned, and I'm not going to promote a job. My grandfather, salute to all the veterans. My grandfather is a World War II veteran, and I have his flag to this day. And my grandfather never promoted me to join the service. He never promoted, but he did encourage me on building a business and getting a trade. Being independent. So I felt like it had to be a reason why he did never encourage it to me. Like he didn't encourage me. He wanted me to find my way. And I feel like when you're looking on social media now, especially when it comes to branding, a lot of people are pushing other people's brands. So when you're pushing other people's brands, you are tailor your conversation to make sure that you benefit this person or that company. But me, I just, I use what I got and I push me. My brand is HogOn Welding, honoring our generation ornamental nature while hustling over grounded obstacles naturally. That's my brand, you know what I mean? Like get my hog on. And it's not just me, it's anyone that's surviving something, anyone that's going through something, you know what I mean? So I don't feel blackballed on the internet, so to speak. But it's all about analytics. It's all about learning keywords. It's a few different things around certain videos or certain flow of media that can actually get you more traction once you learn the procedure. So like I said, I've been doing everything organic. I actually had an older gentleman that I grew up with, a few years older than me, an OG I grew up with, actually told me to start video blogging. Because at first I was like, nah, man, I ain't doing no videos. And he was like, man, I believe you got a lot to say. You just need to just open up and just start talking. Just go and see, see where it goes. And at first I was discouraged about doing it, family. Like that ain't what I do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah, man, I don't want to do all that. You know what I mean? But I realized the more I did it, I get more comfortable. And even if you go back now, I have I have literally probably over 4,000 videos, and some of them like small clips and things like that. But you can see how, as over time, I never stopped. So I had to learn how to, speak in front of the camera, how to look at the camera, how to engage, and not feel nervous and just let things flow naturally. So, it was like going to school for me. I took a YouTube school independently to do something different. I didn't want to um, necessarily teach a person how to get a job, but we got to have a job. So I'm gonna show you how to get a job, and then I'm gonna teach you how to turn that job into a business. So I think that's what makes me different, is because I preach independence. I preach, breaking those chains. Us getting some financial wealth, learning our position in America as Black natives or African Americans or Africans or whatever you want to call yourself, Israelites. We need to learn our position here. So by me talking about Black issues and talking about, the racism in America, the things I have faced on job sites, having to pull certain people coattails, a lot of that, makes it unease for some people to follow. Some people only want to some people only want to be, to go to Broadway, and I realize that you got the narrow way over here and you got the broad way over here. Majority of people are used to seeing one thing. They did not actually brainwash them to feel that college is the only way, which is not college, it's education. We need education. We don't need college. But, it has been promoted that if you try to tell certain people that, oh, no, or you say, hey, man, I can teach you your independence anywhere. And like me starting in Phoenix, Arizona, teaching people on the side of my RV, so you start from saying, hey, it ain't about where you get the information, it's who you get the information from and what you do with the information. So I think that me just being a little different, just being organic, talking about sensitive issues sometimes, especially when it involves our Black community, because I consider myself to be pro-Black, you know what I mean? But I am most definitely for humanity. Like, I'm not a racist, I'm not prejudiced, you know what I mean? Like, I understand the difference between the terms, or bias, you know what I mean? I understand that, we have to have our own as Black America, you know what I mean? So the only way that I can teach is as a hustler, you know what I mean? I was raised as a hustler, you know what I mean? Like, I was raised by, honestly, the people who raised me, the OGs who raised me was Crips, you know what I'm saying? Crips raised me and taught me how to hustle. That was my cousins and my uncles. And after I grew up, 12, 13, 14, is when I actually, stepped in my own lane, and I started picking up growth and development, and I went on a different path, you know what I mean? And so in life, I feel like we go through different things, and sometimes you think that, man, I can't use this later in life. But I'm using the simple things that I learned then, but just applying them in a different manner now, you know what I mean? So, you can be from the streets and still be in business, but not knowing that business don't cross over to the streets, but the streets can cross over to business. Let me say it again. Business don't cross over to the streets, fam, but the streets can cross over to business. So once you learn the hustle and you learn being a go-getter and just, being consistent and keep knocking on doors, you eventually learn the game. So I don't feel that I'm blackballed. I just feel like, my time is coming. I feel like my channel is going to grow when it's time to grow. And I'm actually working on a few more channels. So for those who follow me now, check out my Black Feniks channel. I'm actually trying to get it up going. It's Black Feniks, Feniks. Check out that channel. Like I say, I only got a few subscribers now, but I'm actually trying to build it up as well. And then I got the HogOn University, which we're going to have it more content based around teaching and what we're doing in the class and the progress and stuff that we're doing. So I'm trying to separate things and be more strategic, you know what I mean, so to speak. But I think that a lot of cases is just the information, you know what I mean. I'm just a little different, but I understand though, most people had to survive 10 years in a cell, 10 calories in a cell, a decade. Most people don't know how to survive on that aspect. So for me to be free and have that, to me, that's a benefit. You know what I mean? It's a benefit that I survived that 10 years, because I can teach you something that someone who has never experienced that can't teach you. Some things that we have to learn from experience, and some things we can learn from others. So by me learning what I know now, you can actually learn from me. You don't have to, experience it yourself. but the information that I can give you coming from where I've been is a little bit more in depth. You know, I feel like I'm not going to be biased. It's going to be a little bit more bolder. You know, I'm not going to babysit you and pat you on the back. I'm just going to tell you the truth. And that's one thing about the truth is what's so terrifying about the truth is that you really have to admit that what you've been doing and with the information that you had was a lie. That's the most terrifying thing about the truth. You literally got to admit you had to abort that information that you had, those traditional ways, what you thought was going to work. Like I had people telling me I couldn't get my own AWS certifications. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. I couldn't start this LLC. Well, you know, if you got bad credit, you can't do this. I did everything that they said I couldn't do. And I'm still doing everything they say I couldn't do because I believe in making things happen, fam. I believe in getting my hog on. I believe in making action speak louder than words. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. That's all you got to do is prepare properly and you won't perform poorly. You know what I mean? So I feel like that the direction that I'm going, you know, with the teaching, with living by example, that, you know, it's a little different. You know what I mean? I'm not a big celebrity or nothing, you know what I'm saying? But I feel I have survived something, so I have some jewels. I have some information that I think that can help someone. And while I'm using it, I'm just going to blog about it, and hopefully someone else can grab it. Because I was looking, honestly, like I was looking for independent welders, independent black welders. Like I wanted to get it from, you know, a black man. Let me see his perspective. And most of them was telling me how to get a job. That's it. Or how to get the biggest, most I can get on the job, or how to, you know, be a CWI and still work under the job when nobody really doing nothing besides trapping themselves in the system. Now I found a few that was doing some independent contracting and some contracting, but the way that they was doing it, it was the way the system was already flowing. And I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel, family, but I do know one thing: there's more than one way to count to 2. There's more than one way to get to 10. So just because you want to take the long route don't mean I can't say 5, 10, 5, 5 to 10. You saying, well, 2 times 5, 10, you know, whatever, however many, how you want to multiply it, the whole goal is to get to 10, family. Some people will knock you because of the way you got to 10. You know what I mean? So I just believe in just hustling. I don't believe in having one way. So, you know, me teaching welding, doing welding, I'm also doing renovations. I'm also doing some carpentry work, you know. So not only do I teach and do fabrication, you know, you have to be able to master one thing. And you can jack everything else. See, when I was growing up, they used to say, man, I'm a master I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none. And that wasn't wise. We want to master something and jack everything else because we can use it to our advantage. So with welding, you know what I mean, I'm just living by example. You know, I want to show other black boys that they can do actually anything that they want to do, but they got to get outside of their comfort zone. Everything I did was outside of my comfort zone. I wasn't around mama, wasn't around dad. I didn't have a crutch. I had to survive. That was my crutch. If I didn't survive, then I didn't survive. So sometimes I think we got to have just less options. I always like to tell my daughters, I said, man, when I was in prison, I only had one option: survive or not survive. And my oldest daughter, you know, she 15. When I'm my oldest, my baby daughter 15, and so you know she didn't grow up to get a chance to see the Black Lives Matter movement. She's seen the LBTG community movement, and she asked me questions about prison, and I told her, I said, I don't have no problem with no one being what they are. Like whatever you are, I don't have any problem with it. I have an issue with someone trying to force their beliefs on me. You know, if I tell you I'm straight, I'm straight. If I tell you I'm not gay, I'm not gay. You know what I'm saying? And I think that you should respect that, just like anyone else saying that, no, I don't want to have, you know, sexual intercourse tonight. You know what I mean? And y'all on a date, and you think this because you took on a date, you should have it. Now I feel like that's the same way. So I don't feel like you should force anyone to do anything. And I told my daughter, and when I was in prison doing that 10 years, it was some guys who was forcing people to be gay. You know what I mean? And some people end up turning gay just so they could survive in there. And I was like, I was willing to die before I did that. So I ended up catching another charge while I was in there, fam. I ended up catching an attempted murder charge while I was there defending for my manhood. And I told her that if I didn't do that, And if I just so happen to say, you know what, I would let the system get me and I'd have been gay. And I said, you know what, Amaris? And she was like, what? You wouldn't be here today. Because I'd be gay. I had no interest in a woman then. I wouldn't have wanted you. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have created you. But you had a purpose to be here. And it wasn't meant for me to be gay. Now, I don't knock anyone for what they did, but I had a different path. So I just believe that everybody got their own path, what they're doing. That's what you do. Just don't push it up on others. So what I do it freely. I'm not pushing anyone to be independent. I'm just talking about that I feel like we need to gain our independence, especially as African Americans. To me, I think, you know, some way we done bought this illusion that just because you haven't went to prison in America as a black man, that you're not in prison. Or you're in prison as a black woman, you're not in prison, we're still in prison. And we have to learn that the system, we can't operate the way the system operates. We can't operate the way that white America operate in America. We can't do it. We have to do it different. We can use some of it, and then we got to do our own twist and start our own thing, and we'll never have any wealth. It's all about wealth. You know what I mean? It's all about really changing that last name, family. You know what I mean? Really, really understanding what it means to have some, and we don't really know, especially from rural areas. So as I get information, I just like to pass information down because I never know who might need it. So like I say, I don't really feel blackballed now in certain areas. I'm in Southeast Arkansas right now. Arkansas, they can blackball you. Working for certain companies, I didn't see them do it. Man, never hire him, man. He this and this, and you in a whole area where they didn't call all their friends and say, nah, I don't mess with him. You know, I didn't see him that before. But I don't really feel blackballed. I just feel like, you know, my time is coming. You know, I feel like, no, right now they probably think what I'm doing is crazy, but I'm building something, and I'm gonna keep building. And eventually, when the tide comes and things get to flowing, people won't understand what I built. And me and the others who jumped on, they'll get it too, and we'll be on another level. But until then, family, I'm gonna keep getting my hog on. Y'all be blessed, continue to prosper. I gotta get ready to go to Little Rock and get me some glasses. Y'all be blessed. My bad, my bad. Before I cut it off, I see I got a few messages. I want to make sure I see them real quick before I cut the camera off. Yeah, yes, man. I most definitely am for my people, man. I believe in trying to help us the best way I can. Salute, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all be blessed and continues to prosper. Hold on.